Welcome back to Viking Football with Bruce Barnum as the Vikings prepare for their final road trip of the season. They will be traveling to the University of North Dakota this Saturday, playing the Fighting Hawks in a game that kicks off at 2 p.m. Central Time, noon Pacific Time, and you can hear that on Rip City Radio, 6:20 a.m. You can also watch it on Pluto TV. We'll talk about those Fighting Hawks in just a moment. We'll touch on last week's game against Idaho State. Coach, Vikings losing 48-45. A scramble at the end to try to get some points to tie or possibly win the game. Very exciting, well-played game by both sides, but the Vikings just literally ran out of time.
They did. You know, somebody had to win, somebody had to lose. Kind of the type of game it was. Kudos to Idaho State. They scored more than we did, but it was a thriller. It was one if you're watching on 11 Sports or the TV or there. It was tough to go get a soda or a beer because you're going to miss a touchdown. But good job to Idaho State. They're playing well, and they came on the road and played a hell of a game. So I like how our guys played. I like the effort. I like the energy. You know, this group, we're not losing many. You're going to see the kids you saw against Idaho State for most of them for the next 2 years. So I'm happy about that.
Well, and we talk about the evolution of this program and going from a team trying initially to win games this season to now competing with teams at the top of the conference. Idaho State 5-1 in the Big Sky, nationally ranked, and Portland State was right there with them blow for blow.
It was, you know. Their offense is exactly what we thought it was going to be, you know. They're tough to stop. Curious to see how they're going to do from here on out. I hope they do, you know, make the playoffs. Hope they finish strong, and I hope we have some representation, you know, because now we got to week 11 to find out that we're out of the playoffs. I'm proud of that, but I'm hoping to get Idaho State and many more in the playoff scenario.
Okay, and as we look at the Vikings, just 2 games left in the season, but really a lot to play for. I mean, a team with a chance to play for a winning record, a team with a chance to play for a winning Big Sky record, and to finish still near the top of the conference.
That's huge. It's the personality of our football team. I saw it last year, you know, the youth and how they approach the game and how they approach practice and education, everything about them. They're winners, and now you're starting to see their attitude on the football field. So there is a lot to play for, and to be able to say that this late after last year's, you know, donut debacle. Excuse me. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of this group.
And now as we look ahead to North Dakota, here's a team that is 5-4, started the season very well, 5-2, lost their last 2 weeks. But as we look at their schedule, they played virtually the same schedule as us. They've beaten the same teams and lost to the same teams in the Big Sky Conference. The thing I note, though, in their 3 losses by just a combined 13 points, this is a very strong program.
Very strong. Bubba's always got a tough football team. The only time he's down, the only time you catch a Bubba Schweier coach team after going against him now is when he's got some injuries, you know, which we all do. When those start to pile up, that's the only time you usually get a shot at these guys. So, tough place to play. Like you said, last road trip, but tough opponent. They get tougher each week.
And as we look at the game and the matchup, really it's going to be about the ground game on both sides of the football. North Dakota brings in an extremely talented running game, 3-headed running game. Oliveira, Johannesson, and Santiago, all guys who put up big numbers.
They are, and they've been nightmares, you know, in the Big Sky. Those names you just mentioned to opposing defenses for a long time. So. It is, and they're masterful against the run game. They did, you know, a few years ago. They did a great job of shutting us down. So it's going to be a challenge up front to be able to put some points on the board against North Dakota.
And you have to feel pretty good about your running game. Missed Sergio Hoffman last week due to injury, but the guys that were there really turned it on the last couple of weeks, over 300 yards rushing in each game. You got a career effort from Carlos Martin. Darian Green's been playing some fantastic football. Of course, your quarterback's running the ball well. Now, North Dakota comes in with a rush defense, allowing just 130 yards per game. And if they were still in the Big Sky statistics, I think that would put them right at the top. So quite a matchup there.
It is. And again, flashing what you said about our tailbacks, our group is getting better each week. They still are this late in the season. That's fun to watch. Offenses. We had a lot of youth and a lot of inexperience, and you see them picking it up now. They're getting closer to where I want them to be, to be able to make a run at the Big Sky title. So, and again, yeah, their defense. They do some things defensively, not just with their personnel. They recruit big, strong, guys that everybody has, but the scheme they use up front is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a tough, safe to crack, I guess is a way to say it, to be able to run the ball against this group.
Okay, with both teams coming into strong running games, we're going to be in and out of there in about 2 hours, jump on the charter and come home. Let's point this one out. The Vikings are going to get on a plane this week.
We have one charter a year, so you're going to experience it now, but still, we're going to go. We looked up some things for the Americana tours because we do get there early on Friday, so we're going to go explore North Dakota a little bit, give them some fried chicken and get their butts in bed.
All right, I'm looking forward to the fried chicken. All right, as we look at this matchup, Coach, let's talk about keys to the game. What's it going to take for the Vikings to come out with a victory?
Somebody's going to have to run the football, either North Dakota or us. Whoever does that, and I don't think any group's going to control this game on the ground completely because of what the defenses do. But then flashback, turnovers, and getting this is one of those keys, I think, where field position comes in more. Your kicking game and, who's got a short field, who's got a long field. That and, punch turnovers on top of it. And let's see what happens at the mighty, what is it, Aluris Center?
The Aluris Center.
Aluris Center.
Yeah, all right. Okay, that's a look at the game. The Vikings, 2 weeks left in the season, a couple of big games. They're shooting for a winning record this year, 3-3 right now in the Big Sky Conference. Portland State at North Dakota this Saturday, noon Pacific time kickoff. You can watch it on Pluto TV or watch BigSky.com. You can hear the game on Rip City Radio, 620 AM. For all your information on Vikings football, go to GoVikes.com.